What's up everyone and welcome to the club. Today we're creating a sketch illustration of a goldfish. Welcome everyone and thanks for joining me today. For this lesson we'll need a sketch pad and a pencil. I'll be sketching with this 2B Staedtler pencil, but you're welcome to use whatever you'd like. Let's start by sketching a line going across the center of our page to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. So we're start on the left side, go all the way across towards the right. Now from here we're going to block out the basic shape of our goldfish. Let's start all the way over on the left side. We're going to curve this up towards the top of the body and then come down towards that center line. Let's go back over to the left side and do the same thing in the opposite direction, coming down and then back up. Let's add some thickness to the tail. So we're going to step up, draw a straight line going back towards the right, step down and do the same thing. Now we want to add a basic shape for the tail. Let's start on the top line, bend this up and then out. On the bottom, come down and then out. Flatten off the end with a straight line. Let's add in that fin. Starting from the top, angle this up and back, curve this around, and then back in towards the body. Now let's separate the head from the body with that curve for the gill. We're going to go across, and then back down towards the bottom. Now in the center, draw a circle for the eye. Add a smaller circle in the center for the pupil. I'm just going to fill that in. Let's add in that front fin. Let's start from the gill, coming down and bend that out. Flatten this off and just taper that back up towards the left. And we'll add that last fin across the bottom, curving this down and out. Angle this back up underneath the body. Now once we have the basic shape of our fish, let's go in and clean up that center guideline. Just going to take that out. Once we clean up our drawing, we'll go back in and start modifying the shape and adding a little bit more detail. Let's start with the front of the head. We're start from this tip. We're just going to curve the mouth, coming in and then down towards the bottom. Let's add some shape to the top of the head. We're going to go up, bend that in. It's going to add a little curve toward the top of the body, coming in towards that first fin. Let's add in the lower lip. Step in, bend this out, go this across the lip. Create a little overlap coming down and in towards the gill. Just going to work our way around the gill, going up, and again just adding a little bit more shape as we go. Let's separate the edge of the gill, coming down. Just going to refine the edge of the eye, and also the pupil. I'm just going to darken up the inside. I'm going to add a little more detail going around the face. I'm just going to work my way down towards the fin, just adding a thick ridge across the front, a little bit more shape to the fin across the back, and tapering that back up. A little more shape to that fin and that thick ridge. I'm just going to add these little lines going across from the left to right. We're just fading that out. Let's do the same thing across that front fin and just working our way out towards the tail. And go back and just modify the shape of that top fin. Those little lines going across and just bending this over towards the right. And then we'll modify the shape of the tail across the back. Let's start with the top. And we're going to separate this into parts. So the top part's going to pull us in to right about there. Let's add that second center section. I'm just going to add a tip across the bottom. It's going to separate the tail from the body. And then from the end of the tail, I'm just going to add these little lines coming in. And once we're happy with the basic shape of our goldfish, we're going to go back in and clean this up one final time before I add some more detail and shading. Now we're going to go back in and start darkening up our contrast. So we'll start back at the face and work our way over towards the right. We can also modify the shape a little bit more if we need to. Also layering on some more details. Now I'm going to go in with the side edge of my pencil and add a darker shade across the top of the head and then fade that down. And we're going to work our way across the body. Let's add a darker shadow and reflection across the center of the body. And we're going to fade that across the top and bottom, working our way towards the tail. We'll fade that up and down. I'm going to add a little bit of a coarse shadow across the top of the head, so just leaving a small gap, then darkening that up and fading that down. So we get a little bit of a reflection across the top. Now inside the body, we're going to add a light texture of scales. Let's start on one line, adding these little curves, and then just layering that all the way across towards the back. And I'm also fading this out across the top and bottom, so we don't need to fill the entire body area. Just going to work our way across towards the end of the tail. We can go a little bit smaller with these scales as we go back. And using the side edge of our pencil, I'm just going to go in this little shadow area and just darken up the center of each scale. add a little bit of reflection inside the eyes. And as you get near the end, I'm just going to tighten up my shadows and detail, and always be sure to sign my artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of a goldfish. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you do, please be sure to subscribe for more videos each week where I'll show how to draw simple things just like this. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.